Hey guys, right, welcome back to another video. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I changed my physique in just 6 months. Now, this was not a magic number. 6 months is just where I'm at so far, but I think that I've made a big enough impact in order to make a video about it. I started on 33% body fat, and I'm now down to 19, losing about 16 kg of body fat in the process. Now, I'm going to be going over my training, my nutrition, and then also ending on mindset. I'm going to be explaining how to lose fat, how to give your muscles the correct stimulus in the gym, and also how your brain changes, and then also the positive impact on your brain that working out and losing body fat has on you. So I'm just going to give you a bit of context. I started on around 33% body fat, and I knew something needed to change. I would always look up how to lose fat, what to do, what muscle groups to train, etc. I just felt frustrated and annoyed at the fact that I didn't have all this information pre-stored in my mind, and the fact that I had to go out and actually get that information myself. Now, it took a lot of digging, and it did take weeks, if not months, to understand. So you're not gonna get it overnight, but hopefully this video will help you understand it just that little bit more. Now, I started and I was really inconsistent. I would start and then I would stop, and then I would start and then I would stop. And it just didn't work for me for obvious reasons. But I had some clear goals. I wanted to drop body fat, and I wanted to keep the strength that I already had, if not more, by building muscle. Because that was one of my main reasons for not wanting to cut, my strength. I was scared that as I cut body fat, I would lose that strength that I once had. And the funny thing is, as a little spoiler alert, I in fact went up in strength, which was a massive, massive achievement, going from a 60 kg bench to a 100 kg bench in just 6 months. So, as promised, I'm gonna go through the 3 different sections, starting with my nutrition and how you can use nutrition to help you lose body fat. I was on so many different diets. I was on carnivore, I was on low carb, I was on flipping anything, okay? And they all worked, but not for the reason that they are advertised. They all worked because I was in something called a calorie deficit. Now, a calorie deficit is calories consumed that keeps you under calorie maintenance. So you have what's called a BMR, which is how many calories your body burns by simply being alive. You know, brain function, digestive system, just by staying alive. This, paired with external activities like walking, running, training, all of them, those added together within the day defines that day's calorie maintenance. And what you'll find is your lifestyle gives you a general idea of what your calorie maintenance is. Now, I'm gonna link a calorie calculator down in the description that you can use in order to give you a general idea of your calorie maintenance. Be warned though, this is not your 100% calorie maintenance. You've got to experiment with that. Now, how do you experiment with that? You find your true calorie maintenance by taking that number and eating at that number for a couple of days. I recommend 5 to 7 days. Now, go on those scales every single day, and now at the end of the period you've decided, find the mean, and if that weight is the same as your starting weight, then that is your calorie maintenance. Now, where do you go from there, I hear you ask? You minus 500 to 300 calories off that maintenance and eat at that level for the foreseeable future. That is your calorie deficit. Be careful. You see so many people online telling you to eat at 600, 1000. No, that is starving yourself. Do not do that. Please do not do that. Eat at a sensible deficit, because this will mean you stay consistent, you enjoy what you eat, and you have enough calories to play around with, so if you want a cheat meal, you can have it while still remaining in a calorie deficit. Now, this is the secret that got me my fat loss, the calorie deficit. And the little secret is, do not restrict yourself too much. Like I said, you can have time for those cheat meals and those little foods that you absolutely love, okay? Have them, because they'll mean that you stick to that consistent diet that we've planned. Does this mean have them every single day? No. Do not have them every single day, but have them once every 2 weeks, you know, once every month. Don't get too het up with your maintenance. Just eat at an amount of calories that you think is a deficit, and then if you're not losing weight from that, then down it by just 100 calories and repeat until you're losing about a half a kilogram a week. Now, this training section is only for people that want to keep their strength or even improve their strength, gain that muscle to make themselves look even better whilst losing that fat. I stuck with the same training program from July all the way till about a month ago. And the only reason I changed is because I wanted to become more of a powerlifter. Now, the basic premise is you want to train about 6 muscle groups a week. So you can decide what they are. But for me, it was chest and biceps, back and triceps, legs and shoulders. And then the normal go-to is chest and triceps, back and biceps, and then legs. So I'd start on that if I was you. But just make sure whatever you're doing, you are doing something called progressive overload. For me, at the start, I had no clue what that was, so I'm gonna try and explain it to you as best I can now. So, you're called Matt. You walk into a gym and you pick up 10 kg dumbbells. You do 3 sets of 10, and then you repeat, and then you repeat, and then you repeat. Nothing's gonna happen because you've not provided your body with enough stimulus to want that muscle growth. Now, will this maintain your muscle? Sure, it will. But if you're going to the gym, you might as well be increasing your muscle, not just maintaining it. So how you do this is you're Matt again. You walk into a gym, you do 10 kg dumbbells, 3 sets of 10. But then next training session, when you're training that same muscle group, you go for 11 or 12. And then once you're at 12, up the weight to 12 kg dumbbells and then aim for 8 reps of them. And then next session aim for 10 on 12, and then next session aim for 12 on 12, and then up to 14. Now, some training sessions you're not going to improve. That's just the way it is. We're humans, we can fatigue, external factors don't help, okay? But just stick to it, because over time you will naturally progressively overload, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Now, the final thing with training is rest days. I recommend at least 2 rest days a week, and it's very, very important to have rest days because this is where your body takes that stimulus that you've given it throughout the week, and well, your rest days might not be on the weekend. I'm just using that as an example, and be like, oh, hang on, we need to grow our flipping muscles here, mate. Like, fast. So that's where you'll start to progress in your muscle. And will you look like Ronnie Coleman in a week? Yes, you will. You will... No, you won't. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. 5 years time, you'll be the next Mr. Olympia, mate, I promise. And now, like I say, you want to do that progressive overload for all the muscle groups. Now, if you have any questions, hit me in a comment down below and I will try my best to explain it even more than I already did, okay? Because it is a complicated topic and I'd love to help. So yeah, just hit me with a comment if you need. And then the final little thing before we conclude is that my mindset has changed so much more. I feel so much more driven to do things, and not just including in the gym, you know? I feel more motivation to push to do more work and to strive for the things I love and the things I want to do in my life, which I think is a really awesome and important skill to have for anyone. Now, I didn't necessarily feel bad in the first place, but where I am now is a heck of a lot better than where I was, and that's what you want. You want to be constantly improving. I think that's a really, really important thing to do. So after 6 months of hard work, consistency, and plenty of lessons learned, let's talk about the results. This is what I looked like when I started. I was on 33% body fat. You know, I wasn't feeling my best mentally or physically. And 33% body fat, but also 33 kg of body fat. And now I'm at 19% and 17.5 kg, 6 months later. But I promise you, the results weren't just about the number on the scale. It was the mini wins throughout. Seeing that extra little thing on your arm, like, oh, that wasn't there before, you know? Also, just how you felt. I felt like I had more energy. I felt like I had more reason to do stuff, which was a massive win. And it's a confidence that spills into every bit of your life. My strength has also massively improved. So I went from a 60 kg bench to an 100 kg bench, which was absolutely fantastic. That was my goal for 2024 and I achieved it. So you can achieve your goals too, and I promise you on that. The real victory is the mindset change. I don't feel obsessed over the scale anymore. I feel like I can have a cheat meal and be like, well, in a couple days it'll be back off because I stick to the plan. Don't hit the button and just eat whatever you want after you've had a cheat meal out of stress or out of sadness that you've messed up your diet, because you haven't. One bad meal does not mean that you're going to instantly put on all the fat you've lost. It's literally a drop in the ocean. So just remember that little mistakes you do or just losses you have are just preparing you for that win, because it makes it 10 times more special. Any comments, I will try my best to explain to you guys, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will keep trying. Thank you ever so much for everything, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.